Welcome to this presentation on how to raise strong, confident girls. So whether you're a teacher, a coach, a parent, maybe a grandparent, whoever you are, and whatever role you play in girls' lives, I am so grateful that you're here. Thank you. And I know your time is precious, so let's dive right in. All right, so what are we gonna cover today? What's coming up? Here's what you'll learn today. First, I'm gonna share some troubling statistics about girls and low self-esteem. I know these stats are not fun to hear, but it's important to be informed and really understand the severity of the issue that we're dealing with. All right, after that, we'll get into the exciting part. And I'll share with you 3 ways to help girls build more self-esteem and confidence, things that you can do with your daughter at home, with your students at school, and with any girls in your life. And I'll also share how to get your daughter to actually listen to you, take your advice instead of tuning you out, and how to become a positive role model and lead by example. So just a heads up, when you signed up to watch this presentation, you should have received a downloadable worksheet. Did you get that? It was emailed to you, so check your spam and download that worksheet. Print it out if you can, and then as we go along, you can take notes and write ideas onto that worksheet. If we've never connected before, hi, my name is Susan. I'm a business owner, a wife, a mom of 2 kids, and a best-selling author. I'm a master certified life coach, and I've been coaching women and girls for the last 14 years. So I have a lot of insight into why women feel insecure, why we doubt ourselves, why we hate our bodies and get stuck in unhealthy patterns, and how to get unstuck too. My mission is to help women feel strong, confident, and powerful. That's what drives me every day. So you may have seen me in, the Oprah magazine, Women's World, lots of magazines and TV shows, and I'll get around to more info about me later. So before we charge ahead with this presentation, let's pause and check in. Are you in the right place? So you're in the right place if there's a young woman in your life who's struggling with low self-esteem or low confidence and you're worried about her. Or there's a girl in your life who's wonderfully confident and you want to make sure she stays that way as she grows older, as she moves beyond her teen years. You're definitely in the right place if you cringe when you overhear girls criticizing their bodies or obsessing about their weight, and you want girls to understand that there's so much more than their body or a pretty face. And you're also in the right place if you're tired of living in a world that's dominated by male leaders. You want more female leaders, female CEOs, female Supreme Court justices. And you recognize that it all starts by mentoring the young women now and making sure they grow up believing in themselves, ready to take on those roles. And lastly, you're in the right place if you've spent too much of your own life dieting, shrinking, shaming, criticizing yourself and comparing yourself to other women, and just not feeling good enough. You want your daughter to have a different life. You don't want her to fall into the same patterns. You want her to have a chance at something better. Okay, if anything I just mentioned resonates with you, stick around because this presentation is for you. So get out your worksheet and write down one reason why you're watching this presentation today. Why are you here? Are you here to learn things that you can impart to your daughter? Are you here because you're a teacher or you're concerned about the girls in your classroom? Or some other reason? Write down one reason why you're here. Now, when it comes to helping girls become strong, confident, and healthy, there's a lot to say and a lot to cover, more than we can cover today in this little training session. This presentation is really just a snack, not the full meal. So you want to watch this presentation, and if you love it and feel like, okay, what's next? I want more. If that's you, great. If you'd like to continue and get additional training to help girls, I have something for you. It's called the BOLD Facilitator program. And this is a program where you can study online with me and my team and get certified to work with girls and teens. This is an amazing program for parents, teachers, school administrators, coaches, therapists, anyone who feels called to mentor girls and wants to make a positive difference in girls' lives. I'll share all the juicy details about BOLD later. In just a moment, we're going to dive into the main part of this presentation. But before we do that, I want to encourage you to create a distraction-free zone for yourself. So close all the tabs on your browser, silence your phones, shut down Facebook, close the door, put on your noise canceling headphones, do whatever you gotta do so you can focus on this presentation. Look, you've cleared a chunk of your day to watch this, so let's make this time count. Clear distractions as a gift to yourself so you can concentrate and really get the most out of this experience. Okay, all set? Yay, let's dive in. First, the bad news. Here are some statistics on girls and self-esteem that you need to know. One recent study shows that between the ages of 8 and 14, girls' confidence levels fall by 30%. So this means by the age of 14, the average girl is far less confident than the average boy. This is tragic. And what's really tragic is that this confidence gap lingers into adulthood. This girl grows up, she becomes a woman who still has 30% or more less confidence than her male peers. And this lack of confidence impacts everything. It hurts every part of her life. It impacts her academic success. It determines whether she'll apply for an exciting scholarship or not. It determines whether she'll negotiate for a raise or not. It determines whether she'll stay in a relationship with someone who is not good for her or leave. You get my drift. So when a girl or a woman has 30% less confidence, this creates a damaging ripple effect that touches every single part of her life. So what's the solution for this? We will get to that in just a moment. First, and I know this part is not fun, I want to share a few more stats with you. Teen girls with low self-esteem are 1.7 times more likely to engage in risky sexual behavior, including unprotected sex. Over 70% of girls that are 15 to 17 avoid normal daily activities such as attending school when they feel bad about their looks. Among high school students, 44% of girls are actively trying to lose weight. And as a mom, I know this all too well. My daughter Cora would come home from school frequently telling me about how the girls were making pledges to skip lunch and starve themselves and go on diets together. So heartbreaking. And in Cora's class, this was happening in elementary school, 4th grade. 75% of girls with low self-esteem reported engaging in cutting, bullying, smoking, drinking, and disordered eating. 7 out of 10 girls feel not good enough. So what can we glean from all this? We can glean that we have a real problem. We have a culture where girls don't like themselves, don't believe in themselves, and even harm themselves. This is a big problem and it's going to require big work to solve it. So, have you struggled with low confidence in the past? I know I have. Has this impacted your health, your body, your relationships, your career, or even your income? Check out your worksheet and write down one way that low confidence has impacted your own life. The good news is that this problem is solvable. Studies confirm that one of the best ways for girls to be more confident is the presence of strong female role models. You gotta lead through your actions as well as your words. So in other words, fixing this epidemic starts with you. And I know you might be wondering, what created this epidemic? How did we get into this awful situation? Why are girls hurting in this way? As a coach specializing in women's empowerment, I'm very curious about those questions too. And what I can tell you is there is no simple answer. There's not one reason why girls are hurting. There are thousands of reasons, and there's a lot of complexity. It's easy to point fingers and assign blame and say it's the media or it's Instagram's fault. But the truth is it's not that simple. With that said, I'd like to go through a few of the main reasons why girls are experiencing such low confidence. Reason number 1, unrealistic standards of beauty, airbrushed photos, and other images that depict a body type that's unattainable for over 90% of the population. These kinds of images hurt girls and grown-up women too. Reason number 2, the diet industry. This is a $60 billion per year industry that preys upon women's insecurities. An industry that makes money by convincing you that you're not beautiful enough, that you need to be smaller in order to be lovable. Reason number 3, our world's long history of misogyny and sexism. Look, up until the 1970s, not that long ago, you couldn't even get a credit card or apply for a business loan without a man's permission and co-signature. We live in a world where women have been routinely shut out of the halls of power. We've been blocked from the right to get an education, the right to vote, the right to handle our own money and run our own lives. So while these things are changing, there is a stench from the past that still lingers. And girls growing up today, they can smell it. Girls are not stupid. They're smart and emotionally sensitive. And they can sense that our world is not always a safe and welcoming place to be a woman. So this absolutely impacts girls' confidence. Ugh. Okay, before I go off on a lengthy rant about sexist systems in our country, let's get back to discussing solutions. Now, we're going to look at 3 ways to help girls build more self-esteem and confidence. These are 3 things you can do with your daughter at home, with your students at school, with any girls in your life. So number 1, get involved, but let her choose her interests. Number 2, teach her how to be assertive and advocate for herself. This is crucial. We need to teach girls how to speak up, and leading by example is so important here. If you're the type of woman who raises her hand, who asks for what she wants, who says no, who sets boundaries and enforces them, who stands up to the bullies, then that is what your daughter will see and emulate. You've got to teach your daughter how to advocate for herself, and you can start with small things. Like, say your daughter is babysitting for a neighbor, and for whatever reason, the neighbor's having a scatterbrained day and forgot to pay her. And your daughter's feeling too shy to say, hey, you owe me some money. This is an opportunity where you can seize it and you can help your daughter stand up for herself and send that text and get that payment. The key is that you're not solving this problem for her. You're not sending the text yourself, but you're helping her to take action to advocate for herself. All right, number 3, praise her for something other than her physical appearance. Think about how many times you've said to a girl or a young woman, oh, you're just so cute, you're so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you're the prettiest thing. Look at that hair. What a cute outfit. You're so slim, just like your mama, and so on. There's nothing wrong with occasionally praising a girl for her appearance. Just make sure that this is not the only thing you praise her for. Praise her for being kind and her generosity and what a good friend she is and for how much she cares about animals and her intelligence. And be sure to praise her for her effort, not just her achievements. So you can say, I see how hard you're working on your science project and I'm so proud of you. You're really making an effort and that's awesome. If you only praise her when she gets a perfect test score or a perfect report card, that can be damaging. So make sure you're praising her character and her effort. So whip out that worksheet and think about a girl in your life and write down one compliment you can give her the next time you see her that's about her character, not her physical appearance. Now, I know you're probably very curious about this next step because next, we're going to discuss how to get your daughter to actually listen to you and take your advice instead of tuning you out. So here's what I recommend. Create an open dialogue. When you're having a discussion, especially if it's about a sensitive or heated subject, listen first without interrupting or correcting her. Again, this is all about leading by example. So if you want her to listen to you, then you have to lead and demonstrate how that's done. So you listen first. Number 2, be on her side. If your daughter is annoyed about something happening at school, like a rigid dress code or a teacher who's being unfair, don't automatically assume she's overreacting or being unreasonable. Ask her, tell me more about this. And she might have a perfectly good reason, a valid reason to be upset. So listen, be on her side. And use this moment as an opportunity to talk about how to stand up for yourself. And number 3, share a story about a time when you messed up. If you want to see your daughter's ears perk up, then tell her, hey, I want to tell you about a time when I made a big mistake. And she will be listening attentively. Kids love stories about grown-ups screwing up. And if you share a story about a time when you went on a crazy fad diet and it really messed up your body, or a time when you allowed a boy to pressure you and you always regretted it, or a time when you had the opportunity to stand up to a bully and you didn't, your daughter will listen and your story will have an impact. So tell a story about what you've been through and what you learned. So those are just a few suggestions on how to inspire her to listen. Okay, next, let's discuss how to lead by example and become a positive role model for the girls in your life. So number one, model positive self-talk. This means watch how you talk about yourself and your own body and appearance. So do you say things like, ugh, I look like a cow, or my skin is just awful, or I would love to drop down a size, I pigged out this weekend, I really need to get back on a diet, and things like that? Catch yourself and correct yourself. Start speaking about yourself and to yourself differently. Number two, model self-love. Show that your mental, physical, and fiscal health is a priority. Show this through your actions as well as your words. Become the kind of woman who takes excellent care of herself. Let young women see you doing that and being that. Number three, model sisterhood. Don't tear down other women. Mean gossiping about other women, about celebrities, that stuff has got to stop. Be a woman who cheers fellow women on, who opens doors, and who lifts her sisters up. I want to be very clear. Being a role model doesn't mean you are perfect. No one is perfect. Not even Beyonce behind me is perfect. Being a role model means you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself and the most powerful version of yourself, even if it takes a whole lifetime to do that. You can be an impactful woman who is still learning and growing, and you can be a role model. You can be imperfect and inspiring at the same time. That's definitely me. I'm not perfect. Just ask my husband and my kids and my employees. Trust and believe. Okay, get your worksheet out and fill in the blank. Even though I'm not perfect, I can still be a role model for girls because... All right, we've covered a lot so far, so let's do a quick recap. So far, we've learned several troubling statistics about girls and low self-esteem, 3 ways to help girls build more confidence, tips on how to get your daughter or any girl to listen to you, and how to be a positive role model and lead by example. So what's the main thing you've gained from this presentation so far? Is there one idea or concept or tip that's sticking with you, especially strongly? What is it? Write it down. So we're coming to the end of this presentation, but I hope this won't be the end of our time together because there's so much more to learn and big work to be done. I'd like to take the next few minutes or so to tell you about BOLD. So BOLD is a program for girls and teens, a program that I founded and trademarked. As they go along through the BOLD program, girls gain more confidence, assertiveness, leadership, and life skills. The BOLD curriculum was developed by myself along with a team of coaches and educators and input from actual girls. So this is a powerful program that leaves a lasting imprint in young women's lives. Girls graduate from BOLD feeling strong, powerful, and unstoppable. You might be wondering, okay, well, how do I fit into all this? Here's how. You can become a Certified BOLD Facilitator. So what does this mean? It means you get certified to lead BOLD programs in your community or online. You can lead a BOLD program for your daughter and a few of her friends, a really small group, or you can lead a BOLD program for hundreds, even thousands of girls in a school district or summer camp. You can meet with them online or in person. You can get paid to lead BOLD programs, or you can do it for free as a volunteer. Lots of options. If you feel called to be a mentor and a positive role model for girls and teens, this is for you. This is a way to make a lasting impact on girls' lives. So who can become a BOLD facilitator? The answer is anyone. You. No previous teaching or coaching experience is necessary. All we require from you is a strong passion to help girls and a willingness to learn. We provide all the rest. We give you everything you need to step into the world and be an effective BOLD facilitator. So here are some words from girls who've gone through the BOLD program. I didn't realize I had an inner mean girl in my head telling me that I could no longer wear skirts and shorts. My mean girl told me that my legs were unattractive. I was unable to silence that mean girl and replace her with a strong appreciation, a beautiful inner voice, one that tells me that my legs are beautiful, strong, and powerful. So there are many reasons to become a certified BOLD facilitator. Here are just a few reasons. You might want to do this because you're a parent and you want to help your daughter build self-esteem and confidence. Or you're an educator and you'd like to lead a BOLD program at your school. Or you're a life coach, a wellness coach, counselor, therapist, or social worker, and you want to gain new skills and maintain your professional edge and add a new credential to your resume. Or maybe because you already work with girls, perhaps running a dance studio, sports program, or summer camp, and you want to help your participants build confidence like never before. Or because you're contemplating a career change and looking for secondary income, and BOLD sounds like an exciting new vocational path or side business. You're craving more meaning and fulfillment in your life, and you feel called to mentor young women. Whatever your reasons may be, we're here to help you get certified and start doing this life-changing work. So join us and lead a better, stronger, empowered generation of girls. Together, we can change the world. Once you enroll, what do you get? All right, so here's a peek at what you get. This is the official BOLD box that we mail to you, and I have a list of what's included. So there are BOLD Girl stickers, a BOLD mug, BOLD patches for each of the BOLD steps, a BOLD facilitator's journal, pens, BOLD bag, bear books, and the training manual. You also get 10 weeks of online training to prepare you to lead BOLD programs for girls and teens, so you can study from home. It's super convenient. And you get a complete marketing kit that includes how to connect with schools, clubs, community centers, and other organizations to introduce yourself and get hired to lead BOLD programs. Upon completion, we send a diploma. We mail that right to your house. And we also provide guidance on what you can do after you get certified as a BOLD facilitator, career options, volunteer and community projects, and other paths to consider. So if your heart is saying yes, I would love to do the BOLD certification program, that's amazing. You can get started with a deposit of $97 and pay the rest later. And to say thank you for watching this entire presentation, we have extra savings for you. So here's how to enroll. Visit this URL, click on the enroll button, select your preferred payment option, fill out that form, and that's it. Instructions on what to do next will be emailed to you. So you might have questions about BOLD, and we're here to help. We have a team member and available answers ready for you via email, or we'll hop on a quick phone call. So contact the team. You can email us at support@shyatt.com. So maybe you're worried about the time commitment, you're already so busy and you're not sure if you have time for this, or maybe you have some other question on your mind. Whatever's going on, just email us and we'll help you out. Final words. We've reached the end of our time together for today, and I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. I want to live in a world where between the ages of 8 and 14, girls' confidence levels rise by 30% instead of dropping 30%. Wouldn't that be amazing? I want to live in a world where girls feel strong and confident, and mentally and physically. Girls set ambitious goals and genuinely believe they can do it. And I definitely want to live in a world where there are more female CEOs, female leaders, female senators, a female president, and women's faces on US currency. Yes to that world. To create that world, it starts now. And it starts by mentoring the young women who are going to grow up and shape that world with their brilliance. It starts with you and me, grown-ups, choosing to be role models and light the way forward. I hope you'll say yes to becoming a Certified BOLD Facilitator so that you can bring BOLD programs to girls in your community. Or maybe to just one girl, like your daughter. Either way, I know you'll gain so much from the BOLD Facilitator training experience. It'll change your life as well as the lives of the girls you reach. I'm Susan Hyatt, and thank you for taking the time to watch this entire presentation. All right, I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna go hop on my Peloton or maybe flop in my hammock. I'm wishing you a beautiful day too. So go out there and be a role model, because girls are watching and listening, and they're learning what it means to be a woman from you. You only get one life. Make it bold and make it count. Join now.